what I got so far. So this is a 12 volt Puma compressor. I've had this one for a few years now. I actually have two of these, one in each of my trucks. My 4Runner has one, the Tundra has one, and I plan on probably buying a third one for the Sequoia. But anyways, I've had this thing, like I said, for a few years now, and it's always lived in the back of my truck, right in that corner. And which hasn't been an issue. Normally I have a full mattress here, and we just kind of fold the mattress around it, and it's worked great. But after being in here without the compressor and having the full mattress, I like how open the bed, or how wide the bed was, especially for two people. So I decided to relocate it. And as you can see, this one has the compressor. I believe it's a 1.5 gallon tank. Below it, it's all attached. I thought about just separating it, just keeping the compressor, but I didn't want to. I don't know, maybe I'll do it down the line, but I just don't want to redo all the plumbing and stuff like that. So I bought, so I just kept it the way it is, and I don't like how tall it is. You can see how tall this thing is, and the idea for this was I wanted it to mount it up there, and with it mounted up there upside down, it's gonna be really tall, so that decreases the light or the headspace down here. So I wanted to see if I can slim it down a little bit, and you can see how tall this is. So I took the compressor off, had this drew up in CAD, and had my buddy cut it out on his CNC table. And what we're gonna do is this bracket. What's gonna do is allow me to mount my compressor sideways. And with it mounted sideways, you can see the overall package, as far as height-wise goes, is a lot slimmer. And the other thing with this is, I'll go get the pipe. I'll show you, but there used to be a, or it still is, but there's a pipe that connects here to here. It was already pre-bent and everything like that, and I had to redo that. This is the original pipe. I bent it, so it's not the original shape anymore, but it used to connect here, right here, all the way up to here, using this 90-degree fitting here. And once I take this off and turn it sideways, it's easier to show with it upside down. There we go, much better. You can see how much slimmer the package is as far as height-wise goes. But this 90 here, I didn't want to rebuild this, so I just bent it up. But as you can see, if I just bend it like so, I can actually connect that in here and this in here, but not with the 90. 90 won't work. I had a hard time trying to find this fitting, because this, I believe that the store said it was 3/8 or 3/4 pipe, and they couldn't figure out what this store was. I went to, or this size was. I went to like a hardware store, Ace, I believe. Buddy of mine recommended another place. They mainly do hydraulic fittings. I walked in there with this, and I told them I needed it straight. They didn't even measure it. They walked straight over to where all the parts were and grabbed this out of it, the bin, and handed it to me. And I was like, you guys don't even measure it? They're like, no, we know what those are. And I was like, seriously? And I was like, all right. So I got it, and now I have this thing was literally $3-4. It's cheap. And that'll thread in there, and this side should thread in. I barely picked this part up yesterday, so I haven't even test fitted it, and I don't know if my bin is correct. I kind of just eyeballed the bin without the part. So that thread's there. This one, it looks like I still got to bend it just a touch, but you can see this one will thread in here like so. And this will give me the whole slim package. Been working with another buddy of mine that does woodworking, and he's helped me build this. box. You can see here, every fitting is custom sized to my shell, and you can see that's going to be the door and that's the floor. Obviously it's going to be mounted upside down, so it's not going to sit on anything down here. It's going to mount to the shelf that I had I worked with him to build as well. And even when I had that done, I didn't even finish it because those resized holes up there were meant for some ports, and I still haven't installed those. So still finishing up on this is built. This one still needs to be attached. I got it dry fitted, and then right now attached what I have, or get the holes drilled out so I can mount it. Box up there, you can see I already did the 4 holes for the compressor, and so I can mount this box up to my shelf. Once that's done, we'll build the rest of it, fit the compressor, and then do some little wiring. I don't know if you can see, there's the hose there. I've already had it ran underneath the truck. I don't have it installed now, but I have another, I forgot what size gallon tank it was. Another tank that I'll be fitting underneath the truck, and it's supposed to fit between this new custom X brace. As you can see under here, the original X brace is gone, and it has an H brace here that it had. The buddy that had the CNC table helped me build this and basically did all the welding on it. And so you can see the wiring of the plumbing's already done. I just zip tie it all in place, left it all loose for now. But this is gonna plug into the new tank, or not new tank, the original tank I had under here with the old setup. And a long time ago I already had these fitted, so this is my air connection here. Allows me to plug in, and I'll be able to grab 2.5, I believe it's 2.5 gallon tank, plus the 1.5 gallon tank, plus the compressor. I'll be charging it up, besides my in and out for my water. All right, we got the got all the holes drilled, and it's bolted into the shelf up top, which has been fixed to the truck for a while. And now I added this piece because I wanted a box. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts that bolt this up to the shelf. And the compressor is gonna, or actually all the compressor's weight's gonna be here at these 4 bolts. 2 of them are on the outside right here, and because when I built this shelf, I didn't anticipate doing a compressor under here. If I did, I probably would have built the shelf out further. That way it wouldn't have been the way it's finished. I may clean it up later, but I still got to originally was going to oversize this and do bolts out here, but after getting it all mounted up and everything like that, don't really need the extra support out here, so I'm actually going to cut this off all the way. That way it looks a little cleaner. The box just right here. And yeah, so got these 2 up here. That's going to be using the box to hold the compressor up. And then these 2 back here actually go all the way through, and that would add, you know, the 7 bolts, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 bolts holding this up. And I've been able to put a lot of weight right here, this location, and doesn't seem like it moves much or deflects. So hopefully it holds together on bumpy roads. All right, so I got the tank bolted up, and give you a idea of what it's gonna look like once it's all finished. Obviously, the compressor here still needs to go under here. I need to basically have the compressor held up with the tank and have it all bolted together. I thought about having them separate, have this bolted up, then the compressor bolted to this, but being how heavy this is, I'd rather have as much surface area on here flat against this plate here. So this is the idea. That's what it's gonna look like. I still got a couple other things to finish up on. The air hose Where'd it go? There's an air hose that I still need to pull all the way through, and there's a plate, or I mean a cover that sits on the bottom. Got a plate that sits on the bottom like so. That's gonna be fitted in here. That way it's fully boxed in. And still got the door. That's gonna be mounted up in here. And that way I still have at least access to the compressor if I need it to. This compressor is on I have a relay. There will be a relay with a switch. That way I can kick this on from the cab without having to come back here to do anything. I got it somewhat fitted in there. The back over here you can see, maybe see, but the metal plate is actually fixed to it. The bolts are already there. The front ones, I took the bolts out and I bolted the compressor to it. So it's at an angle right now. The back isn't on. So it's just 2 bolts holding the compressor up right now. Obviously on the final assembly, this thing will be fitted with all 4 bolts and not just the 2 in the front. But get an idea of just how, like, I'm pulling on this thing and it's not moving at all. So I got it wired up. Still gotta finish clean up some stuff, and I need to get another wire to make a ground. But I just have a clamp right now to ground to the frame, or not the frame, one of the tie points right there. And there's the relay back there. It's wired up. Here's the 2 wires that run to the controller up front that or the switch that turns this on, flips the relay, and then it connects the power from. I have power. Let's see here. It's ran straight from my fuse box. This is battery wire, or this is straight to battery, or a breaker up front, but straight to battery. Tees into here, and it runs down. It carries over and feeds this side of the relay, and then when I hit the switch in the cab, it connects the 2 together. And then this gives power to the compressor. And normally this switch would be flipped on. I have it turned off right now just because I wanted to be able to turn this on and off. And then also the fitting right there, I put it together. I might have messed up the fitting here when I was bending it. You can see it's not perfectly straight. So I don't know if it's gonna hold pressure or not. So that's why I had it flipped off right now. And and I got an LED light in the back. Eventually I'll have it fitted back there. That way it gives it I have a little lighting back here. It comes on when the compressor comes on. So first test fire. Should probably have the truck running. Compressor tank all fitted. I still got to finish the wiring. This one still needs a ground, and I also got to order a 90 so I can 90 this down because this is just too tight right here. But other than that, I'm almost done. Alright, finally got the compressor cover back on with all the wiring. Air hose, I had to do a 90 off of here because the hose had too much of a bend with the cover that would be here. So I had to add a 90-degree coupler here. And then switch will always be flipped on. Mounted my relay back in that corner right there. And all my wiring runs right through the bottom here that's cut out. And the hose runs down and all the wiring runs down. And it goes through one of my bed plug covers that I 3D printed. So the wires and the hose all goes through there. So the half of it, or the air hose, runs back to another air tank underneath the truck. There is still a 1.5 gallon tank that I kept up here. And then the wiring, well, at least the switch wiring runs all the way back to the front, to the 8-gang switch control panel. And then the big, the power that powers this up is ran to my fuse box over here. And then the grounding is off of the tie down point here around it, a ground cable there. Door on. I actually have another trap door cut out in the bottom here. Left tabs on them so this stays in place until I get hinges for it. And then I still need to figure out how I want it to be latched in here. Same thing with the front one. There's little tabs that's keeping this thing in place. That's why it doesn't fold right now. Over here, I can move the whole shelf. Not much, but the shelf does move a little bit. But most of the weight's over here and all the supports is over here. And then same thing with this one. This is supported down to the bed over here as well. So that's all holding this up, and it's also attached to the shelf. So hopefully this will handle all the bumpy roads that I encounter. And sleeping underneath this thing is going to be fun because this thing weighs about 30 pounds or so. Alright, got everything wired up. Got the backlight lit right now. Normally comes on with the compressor, but I have it flipped off right now. See the fittings all here, and I still got to put the door or the face on. And then this right here, I ended up popping the tabs, so the door had to be taped back up because I don't got the hinges for it yet or the latch for it. It'll light up when it turns on. I don't have the truck running, so we'll be able to run it for a second. So like I said, this will normally be flipped on. I got my relays in the back. Right. Safe to say the Puma compressor mount box here has held up to some aggressive driving out in the desert, and box is still attached. No brakes anywhere, I guess. It's still sturdy, and the compressor worked all weekend long.